All right, you're welcome back. It's time to take a look at the headlines this morning, and we've just been joined by public affairs analyst Smart Akpejoye. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to see you.
Nice to see
Very
you.
good. Good to see you.
And happy Wednesday to you.
Thank you.
It's so interesting. It's only in Nigeria you hear happy everything.
Yes,
happy
we have-
everything.
Yeah,
Happy every day.
and why not?
We have greeting for I also
Yes.
have greeting for everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting.
Okay, let's start with the Punch. Onoren in fresh application says CCT chairman's integrity in doubt. And EFCC boss writes Buhari on suspended CJN. Okay, the issue of Onoren is yet to...
Still trending.
yeah, still trending, very much so. As far as is concerned, the CCT chairman, Danladi Umar's integrity is still very much in doubt. Though we have heard from the federal government that, as far as integrity is concerned, the CCT chairman doesn't have any questions to answer.
Any case to answer?
Well, I think that is double standard because the CCT chairman is standing is under investigation by the EFCC. Except EFCC,
Which we hear the case has been withdrawn.
Withdrawn.
well, except if they are saying that it is not withdrawing as the case been cleared. Because before you can withdraw, of course, you come and say, okay, this guy that we thought is this or we alleged has been cleared of all these misgivings based on this. And beside that, the FJC gave him this thing, also 7 days to respond to some allegation of corruption. So this is double
When you
standard.
say him now, you're
That is the CJ, that is the
suspended-
CCT chairman. Even
Okay.
the CCT chairman, they gave 4 judges 7 days to respond to some allegations of corruption. He is among them. So I think federal government should just wait for the FJC to carry out their due diligence
and be the
and
ones
wish-
to clear
and also
the
give him
CCT
clearance.
chairman?
Give him clearance and any other person that is involved too.
Okay.
Okay, well, we were all involved in this particular one, the one that happened yesterday, the traffic gridlock at the Femi Otedola bridge, where container, a 40-foot container, actually, upturned. And look at the gridlock. The picture story just tells it all. Very, very troubling situation. This particular Otedola bridge, there is something about that bridge.
Well, there is nothing about
Is it
the
because
bridge
of
except, you see, because you see when you are coming this way, that is, if you're coming from this your end now, descending towards Bega,
Yes.
you see that place is slopey.
Yeah.
And because of the fact that most of these lorry drivers, most of these trailer drivers, sometimes
articulated vehicles and all
the way
yes.
they speed. Sometimes the way they speed, sometimes you imagine if they are running, if there is any place that they are running to. Perhaps if they are running against race, because sometimes you see, it is not the bridge, it is our attitude to driving. Most of these guys
Because the road the road there is not bad.
no, because this road has been there for all this while.
But it's the only road, it's the only artery, it's the only road
Yes.
that takes you from, at least this axis, from Lagos to Ibadan and every other part of the country.
Except if you're taking
Ikorodu,
Ikorodu, Iwota.
Yes.
which is the road is in a very, very, very
Yeah,
bad
that
state.
road is in a bad
complete
bad
bad
state.
state. So nobody dares go to that road, except if
Yeah. Okay, bandits killed Marafa's sister, 14 others in Zamfara. Really unfortunate one there. Lagos hotelier's son, friend arrested for drugging and raping lady. Drama as Ambode presents 852.31 billion naira budget.
well.
Drama, was that much? How much drama was there?
Yes, because,
other than
well,
the fact that
the
there were
drama-
some
the
people
drama- the
that
dra-
were not there, that were
No.
expected to be there.
No, the drama that really took place was when the speaker,
The speaker.
when the
Well-
speaker took him off, he said, "Look, we have been accused of that our recurrent expenditure,
running
our
costs.
monthly running cost is
Yes.
800
800
million."
million.
And he said, "Look, can you prove this?" You understand?
Yes.
He said, "Can you prove this?" And that there are some allegations that blah blah blah. That please say it before the whole world
Well,
now.
whether there was any
Whether there
such-
was something like that.
Yes, if there's any
I think
evidence, bring it
I think
out.
that was the drama. And for once, we are seeing a budget that was presented without the usual fanfare that we know the state to be. Because before now, whenever they are going to be budget
have the
presentation,
Ashwebi
you have the Ashwebi,
wearing
whatever,
women and
you hear
all
so
the
many
rest.
choruses, you hear so many dancings, there are merriment. This time it just went on and nothing happened, which shows that all is not well.
Anyway, but they say all is well now because they have settled the rift between
Yes.
the executive and the legislature. So
Okay, let me quickly run through this one. I'm only seeking a second term, not more. That's President Buhari saying there. Reject vote buying. U.S. tells Nigerians and don't interfere with political process. Atiku seconders warn security agents. Okay.
Okay, Vanguard is our next paper now. Buhari tackles Obasanjo, says he rigged 2003 and 2007 polls and has multiple riders there, says PDP has no reason to complain about rigging and we are seeking a second term. Some tried looking for more. Well, adds we're fighting corruption, but it hasn't been easy. Okay. When it comes to the campaigns, Nigerians are still looking to the issues, what the issues are. Because in 2015, remember there was much talk about taxes, there was much talk about roads, there was much talk about housing, electricity. In fact, some people even promised to, you know, make electricity available in 6 months and things like that. But right now, no one is really talking about those issues.
You see, first, we are all part of the shenanigan that is taking place at the campaign.
When we say we,
yeah, including we all Nigerians.
Nigerians.
Yes, we all Nigerians, not only the politicians. You see, sometimes even in our arguments, we argue along party line. We argue along ethical line. We've never argued along the area of core areas that affects me and you. We are talking about the roads today. We are talking about the $10 whatever road today. Are we supposed to be finding ourselves in that state? Are we supposed to be transporting, look, containers and fuel on our roads where we are supposed to have good rails? You see,
so what you're saying in effect is what we're getting is a reflection of what we.
Yes, it is. Of course, it is.
How much we have not challenged or held the government accountable.
You see, too many things are wrong in the nation. That even that we are not looking at it, we are saying, oh, Atiku cannot go to US. Oh, Atiku has gone to US. Oh, he went on. So, I mean, sometimes when you look at all these things, how does it translate to good governance?
Okay. All right. That's a good question, too. NNPC reverses deficit, posts a 2 billion or 2.0 billion naira surplus. All right. Wire pulled out of presidential race, Ezekwesili still explaining there. And Dangote, NLG, Lafarge, 3 others to construct 19 roads in 11 states. This follows the signing of the Executive Order 7 that private companies can now construct roads.
Yes.
Honestly, if there's anything that gladdens my heart is that executive order.
Okay.
Long ago, I've said in this first place, the federal government perhaps should not go and borrow money on our major roads. All they just need to do is that create an enabling environment. If you create an enabling environment where, look, if I have the funds to construct the road from Ikorodu to Ijebu-Ode, dualize it, provided it meets the structural standard between me and the federal and the supervising ministry, I should be given the go-ahead to do so.
Not just the international standard when it comes to structure. The cost of building a 1 kilometer road too.
You see, we're talking about the standard. Yeah. You see, it is only in Nigeria where you will see that they are constructing 1 kilometer of road for billions of naira. So at this point now, billions is beginning to not to make meaning again. Because when you just look at it, how much did you spend in building this road? Say 1 billion. 1 billion. This country, we are in a problem.
All right. Reject sale of refineries and NNPC with your votes. Buhari tells Labour. Okay. And
reject sales of refinery.
And NNPC. We remember that I think the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has been campaigning that he is going to privatize or sell off the NNPC refineries. Honestly, and unbundle NNPC and all of that.
This forum will not be enough to discuss the merits and demerits in privatization. The simple truth is that I support privatization because in the first place, governments have no business in business. Okay. However, in kind of privatization, first, due diligence must be followed. And in kind of due diligence, you look at the core ingredients, that is technical competence, like we see in Disco and Gencos now. You see, there are no core competence. That is why you can see them still doing estimated billing at 21st century. Yeah. That is why you can still see NEPA people going about carrying ladder that they want to disconnect lights at this 21st century.
And that's why that privatization process in itself has been questioned.
Has been questioned.
By everybody.
So privatization is the best for a nation. No matter what. I like Atiku. Yes, when Atiku was there as vice president, he was the chairman of NCP, that's National Council on Privatization. And no matter what we say, most of those companies are doing well, even though some of them are not.
Okay.
Okay, to the nation now. Tinubu, PTDF, cash stolen under Obasanjo and Atiku. I'm not seeking third term, says Buhari. You can't blackmail Nigerians, according to PDP. That's PDP telling President there. And look at that massive crowd. Turned out at Do Ekiti, at the Ekiti Parakpo pavilion.
You see, the PTDF, quickly on that. You see, when these people talk, sometimes perhaps we see it as political talk. If I were President Buhari and I have clear evidence that so much money was stolen in PTDF under Buhari and Atiku is vying, sincerely speaking, one of the good things I would do is that I would throw it open. I would throw the investigation open. And by now, that's what but when you come up, because before you know it now, Atiku will say no money was stolen. Obasanjo will say, well,
that's the petroleum.
But this is where a lot of Nigerians ask the questions whether the government of the day or whoever is in charge of what have the moral standing to actually give out all of this. We've had in this country where government will say, we know those who are behind Boko Haram. We know those who have stolen this. You don't just tell Nigerians, if you know them, then what are you doing about them? Even if you don't name them. Even if you don't name them, let us assume that you want to take the actions against them. They've done something you feel is not right. So are they so big for the government of the day to handle and prosecute? So this takes us back to the same thing.
Somebody said it, and today that person is no more. And that is the former National Security Advisor. He said, look, there is Boko Haram even in our cabinets. He said, these Boko Haram issues, that if we fight it holistically from Aso Rock, that there will be no more Boko Haram. But it goes beyond that. Where is the guy today? Nothing was done. The next thing that he was even queried for saying such a thing, and before you know it, it was removed. A general was removed and brought in a lieutenant colonel to head the national security of a nation.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. What else do we have here? Ambode presents 852.3 billion budget of consolidation. Den of killers regrouping, says Wole Soyinka. That's an interesting one. Den of killers? Wow. Coming from the Nobel laureate, he must definitely know what he's talking about. Ex-VP cautions security on polls. Government, NNPC, others not for sale. Okorocha warns Igbo on 2023. Okay, that's it from the nation.
All right. My last paper this morning is This Day. Onoge hints at Agric as source of his wealth. Petitions police over harassment of farm workers. Accuses CCT chairman of bias. And CUPP alleges federal government wants to force CJN's resignation. Okay. And Saraki, with pan-Nigerian endorsement, Atiku now unstoppable. Right. And federal government to ban importation of tomato paste or products by 2021.
Okay.
Well,
how interesting would that be?
I would have wished that story could be taken wholeheartedly and it will really take place. In the first place, are we supposed to be importing tomatoes? I cook. I'm a good cook. I don't use tomatoes. I don't use tin tomatoes. I use fresh tomatoes. Let's even say we want to preserve it and process it. We have too much tomatoes.
Too much.
If you go to the Benue area, I keep saying, if you go
There's
to Benue,
more wasted that actually gets to the market. Yes.
Because I've traveled around most of the major towns in that is in Tiv land, in Udoma land. God, when I come back feeling so bad for this nation. When I see those people in abject poverty and I see heaps of agricultural produce wasted, even sometime one governor, I don't know which of the governors now, even built this thing, a juice refinery, a juice processing plant, somewhere in Ushongo or wherever. That plant, everything has been completed.
That's in Benue.
In Benue, that plant did not take off.
Well, that's the challenge. Because when you travel to all those places, from tomato to mangoes to oranges to bananas,
I saw mango that is as big as my head. And I was looking at it.
All right. Fighting corruption in Nigeria is not easy, says Buhari. urges workers to reject candidates seeking to privatize NNPC. All right, we can't forget the book by Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala that says fighting corruption is dangerous. So this goes to confirm that issue. For the president himself to say it's not easy, then you know that it's quite difficult.
Very tough one.
All right, that'll
be it with the papers this morning. Yes, Sam Akpejoye, thank you very much. Smart Akpejoye. We're still retaining you.
Yes.
We've
not gotten enough of you yet. So stick around. Okay. Tastes good.
Oh yeah, I think it tastes really wonderful.
They'll be wondering what we're talking about.
Okay.
Talking
we're talking about the tea, that's all.
Yes.
Nothing more than that.
Tea.
Let's get into our first discussion for the day. Yeah. Lagos Governor Akinwumi Ambode has presented the 2019 appropriation bill of 852 billion naira before the lawmakers with a recurrent expenditure of 385.6 billion naira and a capital expenditure of 462.7 billion naira.
Governor Ambode says the budget is projected to consolidate on the gains made so far in the state. He added that the budget is targeted to cater to the needs of the entire residents of Lagos. Well, we still do have Smart Akpejoye with us in the studio right here. Thanks for remaining with us. Okay, so the budget is finally out, the bone of contention between the legislature and the executive. Finally, we have Lagos budget, and I wonder if you've been able to look at the breakdown, at least from what we have just read here. Capital expenditure, takes a bigger chunk than recurrent.
Lagos State,
though much less than the 2018 budget, which was about 1.4 trillion naira.
Yes,
1.04.
the Lagos State government led this idea of bringing capital projects above recurrent expenditure. And this have started long ago, even when Asiwaju Tinubu was the governor.
Yes.
You see, and that is why we can even see, that is why Lagos today becomes the benchmark for any other states in Nigeria. Because we have a capital expenditure that is far above recurrent expenditure. In any place where your investments on infrastructure is higher, you see, you are doing more, and that means the people will see the impact. I probably would have wanted to do, if that budget has been approved, I probably would have loved to talk more about it, but I would take it as it is. We will do a benchmark of 2017 budget, 2018, and vis-a-vis the 2019 budget. You see, when you do a benchmark of the budget that is in extinction, going into extinction now, that is the 2018 and the 2017, you will see that the 2018 budget is nothing to write home about. When you look at
with the 60%,
with the 60% at this thing, even if the governor gave himself 60% performance, perhaps me and you, if we really look at it, we probably will not give that budget 40%. Why do I say this? There were budgets for waste recycling. There were budgets for road maintenance. Look, I travel around the whole of Lagos on road, on sea. I have not seen the impact of the public works department. Either to they used to champion it. You see, at a point, the public works department were even engaging in some construction of road. The road under Marwa was constructed by the public works department. I was expecting a government, and Fashola came up. Fashola came up and gave the public works department a lot of tasks to do. He said, look, Operation Zero free potholes on our roads.
Operation Zero potholes.
Sorry, Operation Zero pothole, rather. And it was working. But when you look at the 2017 budget, it even did a little bit. But the 2018 budget, look, go to any road today, even in Ikoyi, even in Lekki, even in Surulere, you will see that we have returned to bad roads. So if we look at it from that aspect, then again, when you look at the health sectors, of course, we saw a trending video on health about a general hospital where somebody, the lawsuit or whatever, that they had to discharge some people because of the fact that they have no bed space. Look, when you look at the 2017 and 2018 budget, you probably begin to ask, please let this government tell us how much they've spent on health. How many primary health centers have been upgraded within, even in 2018, how many? In 2017, how many? So if you say when you look at the budget, it has not really done well.
But you've given it a 40% pass mark. Which areas would you say then that you actually felt the impact of that 40%?
The area of security.
Okay.
You see, either we like it or not, Lagos is more secured than most other states in Nigeria today. And the reason is that for every 3 kilometers you drive around Lagos, you will see the presence of the RRS. You understand? You will see the presence of the neighborhood watch. For everywhere you drive, you see the presence of even the last man men. Because they clear road, at least it reduces threat to security. So when you look at this, yes, he has done well, and you can give him a thumb up for that.
All right. How about the issue of the airport road that is being dualized? The Oshodi terminal, that is the massive Oshodi terminal that is being constructed, and some of the capital expenditure, capital projects here and there.
If I were Ambode, I wouldn't have gone into that construction of that airport road.
Why not?
I would have allowed the federal government to take it over, because the federal government wanted to. They budgeted for it. They said, no, don't worry, we have fund. The fund has even been set aside to do that road. So many other places would have taken this thing. But when you look at it, like I said 40%. When you look at the laybys, of course, very good. When you look at the construction of most of these modern bus terminal,
stops, yeah.
Of course, it is good. Like the one at Oshodi, the one at the one in Ikeja here, the one in Ikeja here, the one currently going on in Oyingbo and Yaba, the one currently going on at K2 bus stop. But even though they have been abandoned, as far I can tell you, go there to find out that of K2 has been abandoned. Miscreants now lives in some of those rooms that they have constructed.
After clearing the market.
Yes. So when you look at some of these things, I did not see the reason why those things have not been completed by now, because at the pace at which it started very well. All of a sudden, because of political whatever, it reduces, and today, they've not done, that place has been abandoned. But the good thing that I know is that they have somebody that is part of the plan, that have said that, look, if we come up, if Lagosians vote for me, I'm going to ensure that all these things are completed rapidly. So let us assume that he will come up and do that.
Okay.
Well, I wonder, well, from inception, Lagos has been the same political party, been the same machinery. So I wonder what the difference in the personalities will be if it is not the program of the political party.
And which the state does have a template, that is expected.
One thing that has worked for Lagos is because Lagos has been run by the same political party, and you see, they had continuity. You see the reason why somebody like me was against Ambode coming for the second term was because of that. The fact that template which Lagos State had, we are beginning to have a distortion. It was not duly followed, because, and I will say this in the area of waste. You see, at a point, Lagos State, if you have an issue with waste, call Deji Oresonya. He will pick his call. Send Deji Oresonya a text, or Toye, the one other guy that handles it. I know most of these people because I do it as my own social responsibility. I will even go there, seek audience with the MD, with the MD, seek audience with all those relevant people. Virtually all their managers in the various local governments, I have their contacts.
Okay, so do you think this budget of consolidation, because that's what it's been tagged, will it deliver on the promise?
Well, you see, the reason why going forward, the reason why I'm beginning to think that it could, if we have a continuity of governance, the reason why I think it could is because of the fact that whoever is coming in for Jide Sanwo-Olu, I've seen it now that most Lagosians are not happy with our waste collection system. Most Lagosians are not happy with our road maintenance system, and I think that area is going to look at it critically.
Okay.
Well,
So I think
it is left for Lagosians to decide
Yeah.
who the next governor will be,
Yeah.
whether it is the APC or any other political
other
party.
political
So we
party.
leave it for them to decide
Yes,
on March the
indeed.
2nd.
Okay,
right.
Smart Akbajoye, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.